Network Entertainment.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Kaya Pa Ba? And this time, it's a solo episode because we are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. Yes! So kung kayo po ay isang loyalist or apologist ng Kaya Pa Ba ever since our first episode about this time last year, congratulations. I am the longest commitment you have ever kept. Nope, I thought of doing a season review because we are celebrating our first year and it has been a journey. Lots of new followers, lots of new listeners, and also an amazing journey for me as a host, as a producer, as someone who has always wanted to talk about topics that, have intellectually stimulated me. And it's nice to know that yung mga nagustuhan kong topics actually resonate with a lot of people. So we are going to take a trip down memory lane and just look back at the past episodes of the past year. Ano yung naalala ko from it? Maybe some inside scoop or like some more information about how that particular guest was booked and ano yung mga topics na napag-usapan namin. So let us go through the past year of Kaya Pa Ba? Wala namang SFX, but gets yun na yun. Okay, so the very first episode that we published based sa mga upload history ko, okay, is actually the McCoy Dubs episode. I mean, baklaan, marehan ang McCoy Dubs na episode. Pero ang hindi ko, I guess, pa na-share or maybe nasabi ko na in passing kahit papaano sa podcast is that before I did itong podcast na to with the Pod Network, which is TPN, I actually attempted to self-produce Kaya Pa Ba like 1 year prior. And I actually filmed 2 episodes na with McCoy Dubs and later on si Coach Laika, which we will get to later. McCoy has been one of the first parang friends that I made in this content creation space. And I think later on, if you have come to my improv shows, part na siya ng Noted with Things na improv show. So, I really wanted to start the podcast with like someone I was really comfortable with in terms of just overall comfort level. Kaya ko masabi kung ano yung gusto ko. And then lumabas na yung mga hanash namin from the agency life dahil pareho kaming galing advertising agency. And then of course, lumabas din yung mga hanash namin as content creators. And one thing na actually very special sa McCoy Dubs episode, exclusive scoop. If you listen to the episode, you will remember that we had a discussion about parang wearing wigs and then like putting on makeup sa mga sketch namin. If you take a look at my TikTok sketches, IG Reel sketches, I really only started wearing wigs and putting makeup on really after filming this episode. I don't know, I was just maybe waiting for another nudge from the universe to kind of take my sketch comedy to the next level. And it was this particular conversation that I had with McCoy in this episode that really kind of started that. So I am actually planning to have McCoy back on as also part of parang the anniversary celebration. So if you love that episode, abangan niyo po magbabalik si McCoy. Pero ito yung tipong ang ganda rin ng gift ng universe sa akin when I actually did this episode because yung unang promo reel or promo clip ng episode na pinost ko for this, which is yung longest overtime that McCoy and I ever took, nag-trending agad siya or it kind of got a lot of views agad on TikTok and IG, which, gave the podcast a much-needed lift. So, kung gusto niyo pong malaman or marinig ang worst OT experience naming dalawa na medyo malala siya actually, you might wanna go back to this episode. Up next is my episode with Aaron Cristobal of Spit, which I entitled Decades in the Making. So when we filmed this about July of last year, ito yung ang lala nung pagsabog ng Spit all over social media. I mean, I think Spit right now already has like 1 million followers on TikTok. And I have been part of the improv community as early as 2017. So, kumaga, 8-9 years na po ako nag-i-improv. And for us to really be able to celebrate how the art form was being celebrated that time was truly quite special. And if you were able to listen to this episode, you will remember that Aaron and I geeked out in terms of improv. Just like how like the performance of it, the parang self-development aspect of it is something that we get really, really deep into the episode. And I think this is really the episode where sa una akong mag-all out sa improv, and I think eventually marirealize nyo na I try to sprinkle a few like improv stories in the succeeding episodes. But I guess what I really loved about this particular recording that I did with Aaron was that this success was like decades in the making. It was earned. Nakwento ni Aaron dito na may mga times na hirap silang magbenta ng show because hindi masyadong nanonood yung mga tao, to now like continuously sold out yung mga shows nila. And I think it's just a very important lesson about grit. What I mean when I say grit is that, you know, just because naman you find your calling or you find something that makes your heart dance doesn't mean naman that it's going to be a walk in the park na after. Nabanggit nga ni Aaron na nung una niyang nakita or na-experience yung improv, there was a seismic shift in her. It was something that intrigued her. It was something that she wanted to learn. But this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was like mid-2000s. So, about 20 years ago. And just because naharap mo yung gusto mo doesn't mean like everything is gonna go right already. So, may mga mahirap na corp gigs, may mga shows na mahirap ibenta. So, it's a great conversation about grit, the stick-with-itness of it all. Na parang, if you really, really, really love what you're doing, I think another yardstick for you to know if you really love it is that if you are going to accept or go through bad times or periods of drought with that particular passion of yours. And yun nga, and now we know Spit to be quite the staple on TikTok, to be, you know, we know what improv is. People talk about improv. Ang daming nabigyan na trabaho ng Spit sa mga ibang improv groups because sila yung parang representation na hinanap ng art form. And at the same time, I think pinromote ko rin dito na yung Third World Improv, which is yung school ng Spit where most of us learned improv, is really kind of one of the best forms of education I ever got in my life. You've heard me say this a couple of times. After learning, I initially enrolled sa improv to just channel a bit more of my comedy because I've always wanted to perform comedy. But little did I know that improv actually helped me become a better salesman sa advertising, become a better manager to the team I was managing when I was still in advertising. So ultimately, it just helped me become a better version of me. So when improv classes do come back sa Third World Improv, I cannot stress it enough. It is going to change your life. And at the very least, you will become a happier version of yourself. And, you know, sa mga panahon ngayon, kailangan nating to be happier. And then we move on to the next episode, which is Nicole Hayala 1.0. We just uploaded the 2.0 like 2-3 weeks ago and nag-viral ng malali yung mga clips. I think medyo napansin nyo naman sa feed ko na parang meron akong 5 or 6 na clips na pinromote and lahat sila pumalo ng malali sa SOCMED, as you know, a certain generation would call social media. This 1.0 with Nicole, I felt very, very blessed that I was able to record an episode na nahanap ko agad yung, oh my God, ito yung magiging boses ng podcast. Like, it is definitely a conversation between friends, but the performance aspect of the conversation is still there. Meaning, we still want to be able to entertain and perform for the people who are listening/watching. And I think I was able to find that agad because of that episode with Nicole. Because, you know, you would hear people like do a podcast na parang, oh, you know, nag-usap lang kami ng friends ko and then ni-record lang namin. Like, yes, it is like that. But I think when I did the Nicole Hayala episode, nandun yung parang, oh, dapat almost every 60 to 90 seconds, meron kang a little bit of a punchline or a funny remark para the audience continues to be engaged. But at the same time, you are not afraid to go really vulnerable. You are not afraid to let out a little bit of aggression sa mga bagay na kinabibwisitan mo sa buhay ngayon. And for me, yun yung Nicole Hayala episode. A lot of people, if I check the comment section on YouTube and Spotify, they always go back to this episode, ang lakas nung rewatch and like re-listen factor nung Nicole Hayala episode na sabi ko nga, talaga ba? Parang most of the time, nagsisigawan lang kami dyan at tumatawa ng malakas. But everything here was intentional. Na parang we really wanted to give you an episode na entertaining, na sobrang masustansya din in terms of like life stories. And I'm so happy na meron kaming chemistry agad ni Nicole. Alam mo yun, parang kaya rin ako nauga is bilang nga si Nicole ay medyo ina-idolize ko at naririnig ko ang kanyang boses on my way to work during my first few years in corporate. To be able to have that much chemistry agad with, you know, an icon was such a gift. And I think that is also testament to just how great of a performer Nicole is. Because like, chemistry is also something you can manufacture a bit and then pwedeng yung masakyan yung momentum. Nicole, that time, ang sabi niya, like, Baus, kung anong kailangan mo from me sa episode na to, I will give it to you. And this was like the 3rd, 4th episode I filmed. So, for someone of her stature to just be as open and be as collaborative sa podcast ko na binubuo ko pa lang, hinahanap ko pa lang yung boses, was really such a gift. And I think, sobrang na-enjoy ko siya. Binalik ko siya agad a few months after, which we will, itutuloy natin itong Nicole Hayala episode or Nicole Hayala conversation when we get to the 2.0 of the Nicole Hayala. Up next is Sandamakmak na Emotions with Poca. Maraming naiyak sa episode na to because grabe rin talaga yung courage and the stories na shinare ni Poca. This episode is a year old and then somebody on Instagram reposted this saying na they really loved the episode. Na parang malakas pa rin yung, pumapalo pa rin po ang ratings niya incrementally. A lot of people really said na parang they were able to relate sa story ni Poca because it was so powerful. But one thing I actually want to share with you guys, I'm not sure if na-share ko na to, pero itong episode with Poca, ang very first podcast episode na ni-record ko, na finilm ko. And tuwang-tuwa ako na ang ganda ng reception niya because the way I remember recording this podcast is that I was nervous as fuck. Because tipong, oh my God, kaya ko ba to? Like, how do I make sure that I still stay present in the conversation but also make sure na nahihit ko lahat ng guide questions na dinraft ko? At the same time, how do I make sure na nakikinig ako sa mga sagot niya that I am able to do a very organic and natural follow-up question, but also to manage na I am not spending too much time in a topic, that I am still moderating a conversation that will have enough scope in terms of topics. Kabadong-kabado po ako niyan ng malalay. Pero to be fair, when I watched the video, parang, in fairness, medyo natago ko naman yung kaba ko as a professional host. So, yun ang isang insider scoop sa Poca episode. And nakakatawa lang kasi nga, you know, we're in the same circles as content creators. Nagkasama kami ni Poca sa isang Pride Month hosting gig, a really big Pride event sa Pasig back in June. Wala lang, it's nice that, you know, the people that I got to talk to on the podcast are people I see at work. And, it's nice to be able to share that part of me to everyone. Up next is Buhay Blade with Miss Nate. Si Miss Nate, nasabi ko rin to sa podcast, isa siya sa mga una kong downline sa improv. Ngayon, we all know Nate to be this really fabulous beauty content creator sa SOCMED. But si Nate, sobrang nabago ng improv yung buhay niya at sinabi niya yun dito sa podcast. Nakakatuwa lang na again, para akong salesman ng improv events every now and then sa mga episodes ko. And then, so kinuwento niya nga doon na parang mas naging trusting siya of people because of improv. And sobrang, oh my God, nakakaloka yun, di ba? But at the same time also, I think, ang ganda rin ng episode with Nate because I think it is another story of someone just being like a professional queer person, di ba? As a beauty content creator, as a makeup artist, parang ang ganda rin nung naging conversation namin about you being queer is kind of the cornerstone of your livelihood, which is nakakatuwa if you think about it. Kung kayo ay budding or kung kayo ay na-outcast, for you to be able to turn that into a strength, for you to be able to weaponize that and then eventually monetize that, I think is really awesome shit. I see Nate often dahil madalas siya mag-jogging sa neighborhood namin. Pero wala pa kaming formal sit-down conversation. Ang payat-payat na ng Mima natin. And I think, nagsimula ata rin yun dito, yung kanyang Fitspiration bilang isang blade. So, para malaman nyo kung ano ang context ng pagiging isang blade at ano ang buhay ng isang blade, go check out that episode with Miss Nate. Up next is Comedy in Everything with Isa Villaverde. May utang ako kay Isa kasi hindi ko masyado na-promote tong episode na to. And I also felt like I was having a bit of an identity crisis when I was doing the podcast with Isa. Kasi pag kami lang ni Isa, if you've been to our improv shows, medyo makulit kaming dalawa. Medyo, I think kitang-kita nyo naman, very evident, very palpable ang aming chemistry on stage. But it felt like when we recorded this episode, or how I remember it, parang masyado ko nagpaka-host mode and ginawa ko lang siyang subject na like piniga ko lahat ng pwede ko mapiga sa kanya. I think we could have gone deeper in terms of yung kulit naming dalawa. Granted na mas lalo lang namang lumalim ang chemistry namin ni Isa or ang friendship namin ni Isa the past year. So, older version pa to, but I do want to have her back on the podcast para lang malaman niyo yung kulit naming dalawa. But a little more on this person. Isa, sabay kaming halos nag-startup sa stand-up. Nauna lang ako like by 5-6 months. Tapos eventually nag-improv siya. And now we have a duo improv. This has been one of the greatest gifts of comedy in the world sa akin. I really see someone I can be vulnerable with Isa. And now we are just doing a lot of experimental shows and just seeing kung ano yung type of comedy na magugustuhan ng tao pag kaming dalawa yung magkasama. And you know, as a creative, as a freelancer, that like those are the kinds of collaborations na talagang I would pay good money for. And fortunately, I did not have to do that because binigay lang siya sa akin ng universe. Ang pinaka magandang or naalala ko dito sa episode namin with Isa is that because I think she just did the Atsco gig nung ni-record namin to, and meron siyang binigay na magandang note na parang in writing your comedy, or I guess in writing in general, parang trying to hone in on a POV na para lang lumabas yung artistic stamp mo is something that I still take with me. Yung kay Isa, I remember parang yung kanya, how do I make very serious, nakakatakot topics bobofied? And parang she tries to put that in the jokes that she writes. And sinabi niya nga, siguro yung akin is, paano ko pa pwedeng baklain itong mga kaganapan in life. So, Isa is also someone na dating nasa advertising agency. She used to be a copywriter in advertising. So again, I think you're seeing a trend here. But I know a lot of you listeners here are in advertising or in the creative field, wanting to just explore and see what's out there. And I think this episode is just another parang anecdote, another example of someone who transitioned. And you know, ang goal ko rin naman sa podcast na to is that mapakita sa inyo or mabigyan kayo ng mga storya kung paano pa kinakaya ng mga tao ang kanilang pagkamit ng kanilang mga pangarap. So hopefully these stories inspire you and help you formulate your own equation kung paano nyo kakayanin ang life. Up next is Evolving with the Times with Stanley Chi. Yung recording namin dalawa, ex-deal to eh. Nag-guest ako sa podcast niya, pinag-guest ko siya sa podcast ko. Ang naloka lang ako doon sa mga kwento ni Stanley kasi dahil taga-ahensya din siya dati, taga-advertising din siya, surprise. I think yung mga anecdotes niya were coming from the 90s or maybe early 2000s. And ang nakuha ko sa mga shinare niya is dati pa lang, sobrang ang lakas niya ng rumakit. Like, meron siyang 9 to 5, pero meron siyang, rumarakit na siya sa weekend, nagsusulat na siya ng libro. Natuwa lang ako kasi parang, the older generation, parang yung pagrarakit mo and trying to fight for your dreams and not settling for kung ano lang yung binibigay sa yung sweldo ng kumpanya mo, not settling na wala kang creative outlet, is actually a very human experience. You would think na parang or sinimulan lang siya ng mga millennials na ngayon pinalago ng mga Gen Z. But no, you have someone here na nung kinikwento niya yung buhay niya, like ganyan-ganyan ako nung nagtatrabaho ako sa advertising. Rumarakit ako on the weekends, nung natuto akong gumawa ng brand manual, ng branding, ng logo. Rumakit agad ako. Tapos merong mga small, medium businesses na ginagawa ko ng logo, ginagawa ko ng tagline. Nakakatuwa lang na ganun pala talaga siya. Na ever since that tenacity to just fight for what is yours, in every sense of the word, has always been there. So, ang message ko is, kung ikaw ay isang taong feeling mo, hindi ko na ipaglalaban yung karapatan kong sumaya, yung karapatan kong ma-express yung mga talents na binigay sa akin ng Panginoon to its highest good. Kung ayaw nyo nang gawin or feeling nyo wag na lang or it's not in the cards for you, I am telling you it is. Because it is such a universal thing to fight for what is yours. And to see kung hanggang saan mo pa kayang i-push ang mga kaya mong i-offer sa world. Yun. Fair, saan ganda nung sinabi ko na yun, ha? Naging lesson bigla. Up next is Showing Up with Fee Palmos. Fee 1.0 to. Si Fee ang unang guest na binalik natin nung pinromote ni Fee ang D is for Delia about a few months ago. Kaya ako gustong-gusto tong episode with Fee is because, you know, I am trying to pursue a career in entertainment / in acting. You know, I am the type of person na parang every time award season, like Golden Globes, Emmys, Oscars, lagi kong pinapanood yung mga round table ng mga actors, actresses, celebrities, and try to just like deconstruct a performance, paano bumubuo ng character, how to work with inspiration. And I was able to channel my passion for that in this episode that I did with Fee. And I was just having so much fun trying to honor the text, having your own interpretation, diba? How to craft parang the integrity that you want to have for your character. Yun for me yung sobrang na-enjoy ko sa episode na to. Kumbaga, nalabas ko yung parang the kind of hosting styles pa na pwede kong magawa. And also, that is what Kaya Pa Ba is for me. In as much as I do things for you, giving you stories that I hope you would find interesting, Kaya Pa Ba is also my personal creative playground. It does feel like, you know, when I do my sketches on TikTok or on IG, people expect me to just do the dog show route, corporate route, a little bit of baklaan route. Diba? With Kaya Pa Ba, tinatanong ko yung sarili ko, ano pa yung mga topics na kaya ko pang pag-usapan? Kaya ko ba bang pag-usapan ng acting and performance? Kaya ko ba bang pag-usapan ang theta healing? Kumbaga, the other things that, you know, pique my curiosity is also a safe space na binibigay ni Kaya Pa Ba. And yun yung nagawa ng Fee episode na parang naisip ko, alam mo, in the event na kunyari, MMFF, may round table ng mga lead actors, lead actresses, you know, fairly, I will be confident na parang kaya kong gawin yun. Yun yung nabigay na gift sa akin ni Fee. And of course, Fee and I also talk about just the industry, you know, going on casting, getting rejected sa mga auditions na hindi mo nakukuha. And also, dito niya binigyan ng preview yung D is for Delia. Meron kaming na-mention sa episode na to na meron siyang isang malalang project, malalang role. I'm not sure if we went as far as saying na leading lady siya. Pero that was what we were alluding to, and more on Fee later. Up next is Carving Out Grit with Coach Laika. Alam mo si Coach Laika, you know, people know her to be, you know, the educator na sobrang bait. I'm not saying na hindi siya mabait. Pero dahil sobrang naging close na kami ni Coach Laika, alam ko na yung mga kulit niya. Alam ko na yung mga hanas niya in life. And kahit papano, I think, nag-contribute yun sa kung gaano kami parang ka-peaceful nung episode namin. Medyo masyado kaming kalmado kasi parang sobrang ganun kami ka-comfortable with each other pag magkasama kaming dalawa. See, I love name-dropping a few of my famous friends. Charing! But what I remember dito kay Coach Laika is dahil ang dami niyang mga audience sa estudyante pa, sobrang I couldn't help but be transported to a time na nandun pa ako sa Rizal Science High School. So we talk about that a lot here. Pero I guess, isa rin sa gusto kong i-share sa inyo, itong Coach Laika episode, this was the first episode na nagkaroon ako ng sponsor. And this was like, I don't know, 4-5 months into doing a podcast, and then the Pod Network was able to parang book a sponsor for me agad, and that was GCash. Nakakatuwa, it was a big accomplishment because, diba, nakakubra agad tayo, wala pang 6 months. Pero, ang pinaka nakakatuwang nangyari dito is because si Coach Laika was also part of that same ongoing GCash campaign. When I couldn't get my talking points right because nadadapa ako on a certain talking point, I forget what it is. Pero like, merong dalawang talking points na either nakakalimutan ko or napapag-jumble ko. Because Coach Laika was part of the same campaign. You will probably not notice it na because the episode has been edited. Pero sinalo niya ako. Meron ako, parang may isang take na nakalimutan ko yung talking point, tapos sinabi niya, tapos tinuloy niya. Na parang tuwa lang ako kasi parang, oh my God, buti na lang andun ka. It was such a sisterly moment. Diba? Kasi parang, you know, kung ibang tao yun, pwede naman niya sabihin, hindi naman ako bayad for that, no? E di, ikaw na magtawid niyang talking points ng sponsor. And then, I felt so supported that time. Tapos nung ko na-realize, ay, na mahal talaga ako nito. And mahal talaga niya ako kasi talagang she tries to, you know, come to my shows. She's seeing the improv duo show that Isa and I are doing this weekend. She was there in the Ana Akana show when I opened for Ana Akana. Pero like, ayun, friends, nakakatuwa lang. Naalala ko lang talagang busit ako that time. Hindi ko makuha yung talking points. Na parang sabi ko sa sarili ko, Baus, you've done more complicated scripts na naibenta mo. Bakit hindi mo matawid itong particular talking point na to? And then Coach Laika was there as the beacon of hope that she is to everyone. She was able to extend that for me personally on air. And thank you dahil sa'yo, Coach Laika, nabayaran ako ng kliyente.
Do you feel lost, doubting yourself, and tired? You question your worth and existence? Well, I'm here for you. Hey, this is Gailey Chavez, and I'm the host of Free Yourself Podcast. My podcast talks about self-love, self-discovery, and growth. This is for everyone who wants to live their fullest life and become the person that they could be. Let me help out and remind you that this is your life, your path, that you are not broken and you are worth it. Catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. See ya!
Okay, ang sunod nating episode, I think happened, maybe like, I took like a 4-month break kasi I think this was a time wherein sobrang busy from all the Q4 ganaps. And then I was like, I can't take on the podcast anymore. Pero bumalik tayo nung January this year with the Tita Baby episode. And I think ever since nun, semi-regular. But I think for the last 2 to 3 months, tuloy-tuloy naman tayo. So salamat po at pasensya naman po kung hindi po lagi nakakapag-upload. Katulad nung last Leland episode na delay ng a week and a half. At least hindi 2 weeks. Yun for me yung parang hard delay. But anyway, we move on to the next one. Bad Decisions with Tita Baby. I love this episode. And a big part of why I love this episode is because months prior to this, nakailang podcast na ako with Tita Baby. I think at least 2 podcasts. And then I was able to work with her na for a roast. And then ilang beses ko na siyang binok sa viewing parties namin. So kumbaga meron na kaming working chemistry ni Tita Baby. Or if hindi man lang chemistry, at the very least, some familiarity with the other. And then dito ko nalabas ang queer-isms ko. Bilang bading in his like mid-30s, as si Tita Baby being a bading in his mid-insert decade here. It was just nice to be able to have a dialogue. I think dialogue yung best term for it. Kasi parang nag-compare notes kami yung mga like how times have changed. Like which parts have changed for the better and which parts have kind of stayed the same. And yun siya. And ang gusto ko lagi kay Tita Baby is because pareho kaming galing rin from corporate, both of us led organizations before, the type of corporate language that we get into is something na comes so naturally for me. And ganun rin naman kay Tita Baby. And you know, ang gusto ko na kay Tita Baby is that she could have easily done a version of the Kaya Pa Ba podcast if podcasting were ever a thing like 10, 15 years ago. Kasi yung mga kwento rin niya andun rin yung parang like fighting for your happiness, I think is a theme that pops up again in this particular episode with Tita Baby. During this time when I recorded the episode with Tita Baby, kakatapos lang ng Drag Race Philippines Season 3. And then she was parang really at that time na parang she was able to take a look at the success that she was able to achieve because of the show. And to be able to achieve that level of success after so many years was truly triumphant. Triumphant! But yeah, yun siya. I love this episode. I love Tita Baby. Ayun, yun siya. Ibabalik ko rin niya si Tita Baby eventually. Kasi ang dami pa namin pwede pag-usapan. Parang medyo bitin yung mga bagay-bagay. Ang ating sunod na episode na in-upload ay ang ating audience questions episode. So, ang daming tanong dito about resigning, dealing with toxic office mates, how to pursue a more creative life nang hindi mo naman kailangan mag-resign. So, go check out that episode. I think I ended up answering maybe at least 20 questions, I think. So, it was a fun gig, mama. Okay, pumunta na tayo dito sa ating next batch of episodes kung saan sunod-sunod na ang mga upload natin. Pasabog! 'Di ba? Una is usapang resignation with Leland Lim. I just recently uploaded an episode with Leland, yung mid-year review namin. Kaya siya mid-year review because back in January, in-interview ko si Leland or I had Leland on the podcast 3-4 days after niyang mag-resign. Award. And we just talk about it was very vulnerable because he was really expressing na parang he was excited but at the same time, I'm reasonably nervous for pursuing the freelance life. So, ayun ang mga kaganapan. Leland is one of those people na sobrang straight bro pero grabe kung papaano niya ako i-celebrate. We'll get more into the Leland conversations dun sa part 2. Pero a number of the jokes na parang pinopost ko na mga stand-up clips ko online that do really well, Leland had a hand in helping me find the final version of that joke. So, mahal na mahal ko tong si Leland. Pero maganda tong episode na to in terms of, because fresh pa sa kanya yung mga reasons niya for resigning. Kung ano ultimately yung nag-lead to the final decision na okay, I'm gonna take that leap. This is a very nice episode to listen to that. Kasi nga literally kare-resign lang niya. So parang fresh pa sa katawan niya yung data. At hindi pa niya nire-regret yung decision niya at this point. Charing! But yeah, go check that out. But more on the second Leland episode later. Okay, up next, committing to creativity with Davao Conyo. I mean, what else am I gonna say about this episode? When he said yes to the podcast, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be very exciting. Si Davao Conyo is a content creator who is just, I consider him to be like a Jedi master ng content. The way he just operates on another level in terms of writing, in terms of performance, in terms of production design, ang ganda ng mga wigs niya lagi, inggit na inggit ako. In terms of acting, ang galing-galing niyang umarte, napaka-precise lagi. Diba? In terms of editing, he continues to just blaze the trail for like how to edit these sketch comedy. So it was really, really such a blessing to be able to have somebody who is as in control or in full agency of their creative prowess on the podcast. This was also another podcast na I'm extremely proud of. May nag-comment sa YouTube na ang ganda-ganda ng podcast kasi parang it was still about the guest, pero parang Baus was still able to inject parang the right questions or parang right follow-ups or personal anecdotes. Yeah, kasi parang feeling ko rin, dahil pareho kaming content creator, if I respond or there will be questions in the episode na I will have to really inject myself para lang lalong lumawak yung conversation because we are in the same field. Nakakatuwa dito because he was able to really share with everyone na bago siya naging Davao Conyo, ang dami niyang attempts and maybe some failed attempts at creating content, which is, again, talks about grit. Diba? Grit appeared kay Aaron, grit appeared kay Coach Laika, grit appeared, everywhere. So it's just like, kumbaga, mapapansin nyo sa mga podcast na mas marami palang araw na mahirap, but they will always be worth it when you have a great day, when you are able to take a step back and realize, you know what, this makes a lot of sense. Pinaghirapan ko to. You are able to just be grateful na, oo nga, worth it naman pala. And then back ulit to the grind wherein nakakalimutan mo yung mga success mo. And then ang iniisip mo lang is, pucha, bakit ko ba ito ginawa? Nauunahan ako ng ibang tao, which is, not a very healthy way to do it, but it's easier said than done. But that's also something he highlighted, yung grit of just like he had to try so many times before something clicked. And when it clicked, he refused to not be excellent and just keep going. And I don't know, it's just so inspiring. It's so inspiring. Kumbaga kung ang isang Davao Konyo, sobrang ang lalim pa rin ng hinuhukay niya sa sarili niya to be able to create content that people will like and content that really represents the integrity that he wants. It's just so inspiring. I mean, kinikilabutan ako just thinking about it because that's what it's about. It's about just fighting for what you want and telling the world na, hey world, I have something to say. It is worth your while. Listen to me. It's just a great example of that. Of just wanting to connect. And at the end of the day, that's why we create. We want to be able to connect with people. Insert telco sponsor here. Charing! Up next is the happiness equation with Pura Luca Vega. Oh, this was I was low-key blown away with some of the stories that Luca shared. I think particularly nung siya ay nakulong, shinare niya yun. And I think more and more, sinishare ni Luca to sa mga interviews niya. But ang naaalala ko is that during that time, he was incredibly at peace with everything that was happening. And how that really, really big event sa buhay niya just affirmed na gustong-gusto niya mag-drag. Gustong-gusto lang niyang ituloy yung sinabi niyang gagawin niya, which again goes back to grit. That's what I remember. Kinikilabutan na naman ako trying to remember it because that's really what it was. Na parang nung nakulong siya, na-realize lang niya na parang ano pa yung pwedeng puntahan ng drag niya, nung art niya. And wow, I mean, talk about committing to your craft. Diba? And being as fearless and as... wala na akong ibang maisip pero yun yung episode na yun. Yun yung episode na yun. At ang maganda rin na share ni Luca is that nung nagsisimula siyang mag-drag, ang dami niya ng ginajuggle ng mga trabaho. And that I think up until now, employed pa rin siguro siya. Well, during the interview, employed pa rin siya na parang, ganun talaga guys. So kung kayo ay napapagod dahil ang dami yung minumultitask na racket, that is more the norm than the exception if you want to make it work. So again, it goes back to grit. I think grit continues to pop up here. So, yes. Up next, we have Creativity and Sanity with Raco Ruiz, another straight bro na friend ko from, creating content. Ang nagustuhan ko dito kay Raco is, I think I was able to hear a story from someone na bata pa lang siya, heavily immersed na siya in like media or in creating. And that now really what we are seeing in his sketches, in his exhibits, really is just the result of being in that kind of atmosphere ever since you were young. Dahil sabi niya nga, ang kanyang mga magulang ay part rin of the advertising industry. But also, ang ganda rin kasi dito yung episode na to, he shared na he does content to also fund pa the really purely artistic expressions. He has an ongoing exhibit now, so go check out Raco Bell on IG and TikTok. Pero yung tipong ganun rin, 'di ba, na parang meron kang isang public-facing figure na content creator na you would think na i-express na nila lahat ng gusto nila. Pero meron pa rin talaga siyang goal for the artist in him to continue to make art and have exhibits. Yung kanya pa, meron siyang devotion. I think every year gusto niya may exhibit siya. So, alam mo yun, parang people always wanna make pretty things that make their heart sing. So, diba? If you are someone, you gusto nyo mag-artista, gusto nyo maging marine biologist, diba? Go, push mo! Kasi parang, nakakatuwa lang din tong episode na to kasi parang nakita ko lalo yung mga themes na lumalabas pa ulit-ulit. So, look at that! Up next, dapat masaya ka with Fonzie and sobrang saya ko sa episode na to. Ang dami kong clips na nag-trending from this episode. Ang dami ko rin nakuhang bagong followers because wala si Fonzie yan eh. Andito lang naman tayo para mag-chase ng clout, diba? Hindi. Ang masaya kay Fonzie was para rin siyang Nicole Ayala episode na nagkulitan lang kami. Pero yung kanya, alam mo yun, parang kanya, alam niyo naman yung boses ni Fonzo online. Yung kanya is tipong, gano'n na siya, bows, mag-adjust ka, hanapin mo yung absurd at mag-dog showan tayong dalawa. And that is what happened. It was so fun. I had such a great time editing yung mga TikTok clips namin to promote this episode because it felt like I was editing a sketch show. Ang daming punchlines na parang I had to let go of because like I had to work within a certain runtime. But this was so fun. Ang kulit namin. Ito yung tipong no answer was bobo. The more bobo your answer was, the happier the episode was going to turn out. It's so fun na episode. And at the end of the episode, nabitin din siya kasi parang ang dami pa naming mga kulitan na pwedeng gawin. So parang ibabalik natin si Fon soon. So ayun, nakakatuwa lang. Ayun, ganun din siya. Dati rin siyang nag-corporate. Tapos eventually, hindi niya kinayang nakaupo lang sa desk niya kasi kailangan niyang express yung mga kakulitan, kabaklaan niya in his body. And now, pinagkakakitaan na niya. Again, another example na of somebody who refused to settle and decided na yung tsatsagain niya, ipaglalaban niya. Kaya ayan, he is bobo for a living and we are all grateful for it. Okay, up next is Joel from Paano Kung. Long-time podcaster na siya. And I was talking to someone who has been in the podcasting game for like at least 4 years already. Pero kaya ako natuwa sa episode na to is, yung podcast kasi, sanay na ako na parang starter pack siya ng mga komedyante. Si Red may podcast, si Victor may podcast, si Leland may podcast. Ito, you have someone who's like a VO artist who is a podcaster and also parang rumarakit pa rin siya every now and then sa mga mga birthday parties as like musical theater characters. So nakakatawa lang na podcasting has become like just a supplementary creative tool for professional creatives. So ayun siya. And we discuss heartbreak and how that particular heartbreak became the inspiration for the podcast. But this was just like a really great episode in terms of like a representation of like another form of a creative. Kasi usually what I have on the podcast, diba? Content creator, komedyante, but like she also does those things. But like I think she really identifies as a voice artist first and foremost, which is like, wala lang. It's so cool that we live in a time na ganun na. Up next, we have Curating Your Empire with Eva LeQueen. Eva, I've known Eva for like 4 or 5 years now. And, pareho kami in the space of drag as producers, as moguls. But I think she really got vulnerable here and talked about how painful but ultimately how beautiful her exit from Drag Race Global All-Stars was. Listen to this episode if you want to just hear a story about somebody going through something really traumatic, if you think about it, really questioning their value to now, in a year, they were able to turn things around. And now she is the mogul that she set out to be. Mogul, all caps. Up next, Trentang Ina with Leland Lim and Isa Villaverde. Pinagsama ko yung dalawa kong friends. Naghanash kami about being in our 30s. Nag-number 1 yung podcast. Ano pang gusto nyo malaman? Pakinggan nyo. Hindi. Ang pinaka-inspiration nito actually, nanganak tong Trentang Ina. So, ang inspiration nito was, ako, si Leland at si Isa, we were part of Red Oliero's Valentine's show. And we felt like we could have done better in our sets. So, in our frustration, the 3 of us decided na mag-show nga tayo para ma-redeem natin yung mga sarili natin. So, we did a Trentang Ina show, I think around end of March, early April, na ang bilis mag-sold out. As in, nagulat kami na we probably hit a very, very interesting nerve in just communicating Trentang Ina, mga hanash mo in your 30s, in your existence, and having the 3 of us there. So we decided to take that really, really successful stand-up show into a podcast, and then wala lang. Maraming natuwa sa kanya. Para siyang advice column, real talk ng mga 30s friends mo. Up next, Leading with Light with Fee. I loved this episode because I was able to really position the podcast as a promotional stop for an existing show. You know, I listen to podcasts then wherein, you know, they would have guests that promote a book, a movie, a show, a new brand apparel. And yun yung nangyari kay Fee na parang because that time, D is for Delia or Delia D. Hindi ko na alam kung nagpalit yung title eh. Or something. Basta yon yung musical niya na yon. Kasi I have the two titles confused. Naging promotional stop siya and we were able to talk about the show and wala lang. So for people who are listening to the podcast, if you want to promote something, like I am down to like get into that and just talk about it. So yes. Up next, Brilliant Things with John Santos. I mean, nakita kami ni John Santos 2 days ago sa Bruno's kung saan ako nagpapagupit. And gano'n naman, ang hiling niyang pag nakita ko siya, like, he really asks me to just like be in the moment and pause. And ang dami niyang kinuwento. Tapos mayroon siyang na-mention na isang possible project that I hope like pushes through. But what I really loved about this episode is that, I mean, you want to talk about being an icon. And I was able to hold my own. Very proud of that. But I think ang pinaka-nauga ako in terms of when I was editing the podcast. You have somebody here who is so seasoned, a veteran, an icon, but was so vulnerable. And it was so beautiful. And ultimately, that's what it taught me. Or na, you know, if you really want to be an artist, you must continue to be vulnerable because it is where most of it flows from. A lot of people got surprised how incredibly deep and profound the conversation was. I wasn't also expecting it to get there. In my head, we were gonna go through like the timeline or the evolution of comedy in the Philippines, which, you know, we touched on that, but it became really personal eventually. You know, as a host, that is also my job. Na parang, okay, meron ako mga questions, but if I feel like my guest wants to talk about something else, I might have to abandon parts or like a few of my questions para lang ma-honor ko kung nasaan siya at that time. And talk about being a deep well of inspiration. And dito ko unang kinwento yung creative friendships na kinwento ko eventually sa Leland episode. Up next, the Tuesday Vargas episode. Pasabog. Diyos ko, isa pa to. Nakakatuwa lang kasi ito yung parang, oh my God, heavy hitters na yung mga showbiz heavy hitters na yung ating mga guests. So parang I have to like step it up. Nakakatuwa lang kasi ang una kami nagkakilala ni Tuesday. We forgot to talk about it sa podcast. Last year, dun sa Laugh Out Loud, I hosted the media event. And, you know, pag nag-host ako ng mga events sa may mga celebrities, you know, I try to be as focused as I can dun sa job. And then, I don't expect naman the celebrities to parang, you know, go out of their way and parang ask me how I am because they're also trying to prep for a show. But, nagsimula itong pagkakakilanlan namin sa isa't isa because during that gig, si Tuesday talagang tried to include me in the conversations on stage. Kasi usually pag host kami, na-moderate mo na yung conversation. Pero si Tuesday talaga would say my name and would really try to include me in the conversation. And then I thanked her for it. And then we kept in touch and then it resulted in this podcast. A lot of people commented that they miss her on YouTube already. So if you miss her, malakas rin ang rewatch factor nitong Tuesday episode, in fairness. And meron kaming pending coffee date chikahan. I just talk about things that we might want to write about or do soon. Again, another creative friendship that might bloom even further kay Miss Tuesday. So I love you, Miss Tuesday. And sa mga followers ko na napasali sa Kaya Pa Ba because of the Tuesday episode, hello, thank you po, salamat. Up next, Spit Manila with Cara, Carlin, Papu. I mean, talk about my peers. We all started improv in 2017, 2018. Hindi pa kami kilala ng public. And now, wala lang. You know, we're all doing our respective things. And that's really what it's about. Yes, we talked about improv. But for me, this was a celebration of like, we really set out to do this thing. Ang saya-saya. At ngayon, ito na kami. So yeah, I love these three. I mean, like ko silang ka-collaborate on certain creative projects that minsan involve drag. So they continue to be friends din for me in terms of like I include them in different projects. Nakakatawa rin kasi itong podcast na to in true improv fashion. Yung mga tanong ko sa kanila, tinatanong rin nila sa akin. So, dahil kay Papu, ginagawa niya yun. So, that's really fun. Up next, Good Karma with Christy, aka Mrs. Deliciousness. Again, nagbunga po ito sa isang hosting gig na magkasama kami. Naramdaman ko na mayroon kaming magandang chemistry, magandang banter. Sabi ko sa kanya, gusto mo mag-podcast? Eh di ginawa namin. Pero ang favorite kong kinuwento niya dito is yung tungkol sa tatay niya. Doon sa isang sinalihan niyang pageant. Ay, basta, pag narinig niyo yung kwento na yun, talagang mamahalin niyo siya ng malalay. And then, I called this episode title, Good Karma. Because when you listen to the episode, you will just feel na parang wala talagang masamang buto sa katawan to si Miss Deliciousness, no? That's why she is so blessed. And parang, gusto ko rin maging ganun kasi occasionally masama ugali ko eh. Pero yun yung maganda sa kanya. Up next is the Nicole Hayala Part 2. My God. This was so, oh my God. Ang dami rin nag-trending na clips. Ito, chinaga ko to. I was able to just like buga. Ayun. Ano ba bang sabihin ko kay Nicole na hindi ko nasabi kanina? Alam mo, simple na lang. Ito na lang, sabihin ko doon sa Nicole Part 2. Sundan natin ng Part 3. Tama. And then, most recently, I did an episode sa Theta Healing with Sanaya Gornamal, who is the founder of Third Eye Wellness, not Third World Improv. Third World Improv yung improv, Third Eye Wellness yung Theta. I got really vulnerable here. I think I let you in on some of the demons that I face. Yeah, I mean, trying to remember how the conversation went. I feel vulnerable. Kasi I really went in deep because, I believe in the idea of self-optimization. That we need to continue to access tools to help us become the best versions of ourselves, to help us present the best versions of ourselves, and ultimately for us to just be happier with ourselves. I also asked her about, some common, maybe cultural programmings that we might want to unpack. You also want to check that out. Pero I think, ang gusto kong sa episode na to is, hindi nyo to mapapansin if hindi kayo nag-Theta Healing. Pero kung nag-Theta Healing kayo, yung ginawa namin ni Sanaya, low-key, parang ganun yung nangyayari sa isang Theta Healing session. So, this is your sign if you felt a little intrigued, a little curious about Theta Healing and what it might do for you. You might want to lean into that because the universe maybe is trying to lead you somewhere. Kasi ganun rin yung nangyari sa akin. I discovered Theta Healing from a friend who mentioned it in passing. And I was like, what is that? So if me saying Theta Healing now kind of gets you curious, do it. Sanaya Gornamal on IG and Third Eye Wellness on IG. Who knows what's waiting on the other side? Maybe more money, sana, or a new jowa. And then most recently, ang in-upload nating episode, ang mid-year review with Leland Lim. I really wanted to talk to Leland again because in the last 6 months, sumabog si Leland sa TikTok. So I want to be able to talk to someone in the middle of just having their world expand on a daily basis. Kamusta yung relationship niya with his ego, with abundance? Is it everything it turned out to be the way he wanted it to turn out? More on that. Hindi ko nahabaan to kasi recent upload lang. Pero if you just want to see someone in the middle of the grind, wherein a lot of doors are opening, and get a preview of that 6 months after resignation, you might want to listen to this. But also an added note here is that he is experiencing this because the guy is incredibly a workhorse. Yung talent, wag na masyadong pag-usapan kasi I mean, 'di ba? Lahat naman talented, lahat may talent. Pero parang ang mas gusto kong i-zoom in dito is sobrang sibag niya. Because I think ultimately, doon tayo sa mga bagay na kaya nating makontrol. And I think result yun ito. I think he always knew he had the talent. Pero I think alam niyang kailangan niyang kumayod ng malalay to be able to just give that talent a fighting chance. And then we talk about that in the podcast. And then eventually we get into mga trendang ina things and talk about adult friendships and whatnot. Eventually, yeah, para naging open forum siya. Ng mga complaints namin sa world. Yeah, so yun siya. That has been Kaya Pa Ba Pod in the past year. Medyo madami and nakakatuwa. And I guess medyo kinailangan ko rin tong conversation na to with you dyan sa camera Nakakatuwa. I did that the past year, in fairness. And I've had some really great conversations to the people who support the podcast. Thank you. Thank you so much. Marami pa tayong plans. May mga pencil book na tayong mga guests na very exciting. But if there are things you want me to talk about, like topics or questions, feel free to send Kaya Baba Pod a message. And i-follow nyo na rin si Kaya Baba Pod on IG. And i-follow nyo na rin ako sa SOCMED. Baus Rufo on Instagram. Hey, it's Baus on TikTok. Don't forget to rate and review the episode on Spotify. And please share, and just follow us. And then we will see you sa next episode. Maraming salamat. Goodbye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.